Hey, it's Matt with Midwest Guns, Gear, and Gadgets, and going to be talking about another one of my favorite guns, one of my Colts, one of my favorite brands, Colt and Ruger and Winchester. Probably some of my favorite firearms, with the exception of, I guess, if you throw in AK-47s. I do love Russian firearms as well, but got a couple Colts here. We're going to talk about the Colt Cobra 38 Special. And I've got a couple different examples of them here. These are actually from my private collection. I have two that just over time have ended up in my gun safe, and they are a lot of fun to shoot. I also have one of the newer ones. Here a few years ago, Colt started making revolvers again, and they've really done a great job with them. This was the first one they came out with, and this actually I carry on and off every once in a while just because it's small and lightweight and easy to conceal if, you know, I'm just wearing a Hawaiian shirt and some shorts. So we're going to talk about them just a little bit here. I'm old, so I got to put on my reading glasses. We're going to talk about the first, the original ones, Colt Cobra. Now, you've got a couple of different models. You have the Detective Special, you had the Cobra, you had the Air Crewman, the Courier, the Agent, the Viper, and they were all just a little bit different. Now, the Cobras, these are lightweight for lighter carry. They're aluminum frame as opposed to a steel frame like the Detective Special. Double action, short barrel revolver, of course, nothing like the King Cobra, completely different pistol. But it was chambered in 38 Special. There were a few of them that were chambered in 38 Colt New Police, 32 Colt New Police, and 22 long rifle. It's a 6-shot. Sold by Colt starting in 1950. And there were a couple of different generations of them. They were sold all the way up until 1981. And of course in 2016 the Colt started producing a new run of Cobras with the steel frame and the fiber optic sight, which is what we have here. Now, the Cobra was made in 3 different models, or 3 different series, from 1951 to 1971. There was the first generation, had the 2-inch barrel. The second model, starting in 1972, and that went to 1981, was a little different. You can recognize it. This is the first generation. The second generation had a shrouded ejector, is how you can tell those apart. And a little different front sight on them. Unloaded, the weight was 16 ounces. The third issue, and that was, it came out in 2017. They were announced in 2016. Stainless steel finishes. These were rated for 38 plus P. These 38 only due to the aluminum frame. But these you can shoot plus P cartridges in. The Cobra is the same pretty much overall in configuration as the Detective Special. It uses the D frame, except that the Cobra's frame is made out of lightweight aluminum alloy compared to the frame of the Detective Special. So a little bit different between the two of them. There were a few variations, like I said. You had the Air Crewman, the Courier, the Agent, the Viper. I actually have one. I don't have it with me up here right now, but I will do another video later on. It was SFVI, I believe, was the designation model. It was about the time when Colt stopped making their revolvers back in the 90s. And this was one, I picked it up at a pawn shop. It was cheap. It was one they'd kind of gotten stuck with a little bit. And threw it in the safe, didn't even think about it. Years later, actually spent a lot of time going back and forth with the Colt archivist, because it's got a 3-inch or 4-inch barrel. I believe it's 3-inch. It might even be a 4-inch barrel, and it has a Parkerized finish on it. And they had almost no record of these, so he kind of looked into it. These were sent down in Mexico. There weren't a whole lot of them, and the fact that it just happened, it was like a special run, the fact that it just happened to pop up. But again, I'll do another video later on that. But that's a look at the Colt Cobra. Now we're going to go down to the range and going to have some fun with the Colt Cobras. So we're down at the range. Put my safety gear on before I shoot. A little ear protection, eye protection, and we've got our Colt Cobras. I'll do all 3 of them. So I got the first one, 6 rounds. These are all reloads. And one reload that does not want to cooperate. We'll set that aside. There we go. And we'll come over here to the target. With a smaller target. All right, we got the other first gen Cobra. And let's do a little shooting. Let me take the camera with me. This one not quite as accurate as the first one. There we go. All right. Now we get to the new model. That's how I keep my reloads for 38. These are some fairly light loads that I make. Get a lot of beginner shooters coming up, so I would do a lot of light 38s for 357 and 38 special. Same with 44, get people kind of used to target shooting before they get the fun loads. Put it in. What it looks like behind the gun. And there you have it, the Colt Cobras. The first model and the last model, or the current model. Fun guns to shoot, and actually for concealed carry, they're light and they're very concealable as well. It's Matt with Midwest Guns and Gear and Gadgets. If you enjoy these videos, please consider giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, sharing it with some friends. If you like these guns, if you've grew up with these, played with these a little bit, and you know, tell me about it. Tell me what you like about them, what you don't like about them. Till next time, Have a great day.